Santa Claus asks the big question, what if Santa was a loser? What if Santa was from caused a broken home?
I like these movies because they're like, what if Santa can't handle the weight of what the world's pressuring him into doing, which is deliver presents on a single eve for a full 24 hours? It's one of those things where if you asked a normal person to do that, they'd be like, well, are you compensating me dearly for that? Because I don't see an income stream for Santa and all those fucking elves.
Dare I say, I just see deficit. I just see. So we're making, producing, and then transporting toys for no cost.
I waited for a little kid to walk in and be like, I'm sorry, Santa, but we're in the red. And he's like, white and red?
No, just red.
Just a deep, deep red.
Yeah, we've changed them to blue, so I think it stands out more because everywhere here is just fucking red. The blue's depressing, and we're going down.
It's a dark blue, depressive blue.
Yeah. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And
this is Who Would Watch This?
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we, just chat, just have a little powwow. We watch the movie, and then we just sort of chat about it.
Powwow.
Yeah.
Don't turn off the listener.
Oh yeah, no, they're into
powwow.
That's the selling point. So for too long, they're like chatting about a movie, but a powwow, we'll powwow it out.
People come for us, but they stay for the powwow.
Oh, of
They
course.
come for the Santa Claus 3, but they stay
Imagine
for the powwow.
coming for the first 20 seconds going, there's my boys. All right, I'm done.
Oh, today we're reviewing the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, which currently has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 4.7 on IMDb, and a 2.1 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
Santa, a.k.a. Scott Calvin, a.k.a. Tim Allen, which I assume we're calling him in the movie, right? Yep, good. Is faced with double duties, how to keep his new family happy, and how to stop Jack Frost from taking over Christmas.
Oh, wow. Sounds like there's going to be some antics.
Oh.
Huh?
Dare I say a film propped up by antics?
Oh, only antics.
Only antics.
An only antics film.
This is a brave film goes, what if we had no plot and just a bunch of antics?
What
Is
if-
it like a skit film? No. There's a plot sort of going on.
What if Martin Short just liked undoing screws for hours? And that's all anybody enjoyed in the film.
It's a screwball comedy.
Literally.
It's a frosty screwball. Carl, before we decimate this movie. That's right, we're going hard on Santa Claus 3. No punches under the belt. We're going crazy. Before we do that, should we go to last week before we had seen the film to chat about it?
I absolutely think we should go back in time. All right, Oscar, we're going to get into the Christmas spirit.
Yep.
So we're going to queue up a handful of Christmas films in the lead up to Christmas.
We're doing Santa Claus 3.
We're going to do the Santa Claus 3. We'll do Jingle All the Way. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the new Lindsay Lohan one for Netflix, Falling for Christmas.
Unless it's an Oscar winner.
Unless it's the new Stranger Things.
Yeah, this is her comeback.
We'll do the Princess Switch and the Polar Express.
Yeah.
So there's 5.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
A lot of Christmas.
That's a lot
love.
of Christmas.
A lot of Christmas spirit. We're already in it. Mid-November.
Yeah.
We're starting with Santa Claus 3. Have you seen this?
I've seen this once.
Did you watch it like me at a school?
Yes, at a school cinema.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They took us the end of year. They were like, here's a treat. And I was like, why are we being punished?
I don't remember much about it, but I do remember the film, if I remember correctly. It starts off for like 20 minutes of just kind of wrapping up two films I'd never seen. And like just getting bogged down. They're like, okay, Tim Allen has to sort out like his son is like a divorcee, and then he's like, all right, let's get on with the film. And then I think I think I liked this. Was it good?
I don't know. I don't really remember. The only thing I remember from this one is I'm pretty sure they go back in time.
Yeah.
But other than that, I always remembered like Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like our generation seems to think they like this movie.
Yeah.
Because we all had to watch it in a cinema at school.
Yeah.
So
everyone was like, well, I learned it at school, so it was great.
Yeah.
Learn about the gold rush. I love the gold rush.
Yeah, this is where. Yeah, this is the. Have you seen the other two?
I think, and this is why I think we would decide to do it because I think there's a TV show coming out.
Yes,
but also I watched the first one, half of it, I think last Christmas. I went, ooh,
it's dark.
It's sad. It's very sad.
It's a sad film.
Tim Allen's like a divorcee. He's broken, and then like on the side, it's comes Santa, but it's mainly a marriage story.
Oh, it's back in the time where it's like because Big is also like sort of a sad film.
Yeah,
but like there's like a fun concept in it and a comedian at the forefront.
Yeah.
This is what kids' films used to be, where they were like, it's just a darker film done funnier.
Yeah.
It's like,
We've got a fart effect, but we will dump into the divorce court proceedings.
you know, now that you've brought up Marriage Story, I think Adam Driver would be incredible in a Santa Claus remake.
Oh, he'd be so angry as Santa. He'd be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I wish I could do a good Adam Sandler.
But I feel like he always is really funny when he's with kids. Like he would just be playing off of these elves.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't want to do your claws. Why are you in little boots? Like just saying things.
Like he looks like he could kick him, but he won't. But
he's thinking about it.
He's got the leg, I feel he's quite tall. He could really kick an elf.
He's like, I could kick that elf and nobody would notice. I could kill an elf and nobody would notice.
Adam Driver has killed elves before. Though.
Oh, it does. I do not doubt it.
That was in the news.
Yeah. Well, he did. Don't you remember when he did his TED talk about when he was in the military and one of his jobs was to hunt down elves?
Of course, they got deported to the North Pole when they were hunting a known terrorist.
Santa.
Yeah, Santa.
I remember because Obama was on the call and was like, "Take the shot."
Yes. But Mrs. Claus is in the room. I don't care. Drone strike that bitch to death.
Take the shot. Take them all out. They were like, how did we even get this intel? And Obama looks over to, they're just like waterboarding Rudolph. Just like, they're just like, we'll get the glow out of you.
Is he still? Can you see him through fog? Keep putting water on his goddamn snout.
So some topical humor for whenever Osama died.
Yeah,
Which
was this podcast,
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, this podcast was recorded in 2011, so we're hot off off that bit.
Right?
This last week we were like, what if we went, we had a recording from 10 years ago about the Santa Claus 3. We thought we might start a podcast and do this.
Should we do an episode where we pretend we're in like 2010? What did you watch this week? I ventured to the cinema and I watched The King's Speech.
Oh, I think it's an Oscar contender. Oh, Carl. This was, what happened? What was this film?
Hang on, I'm just going to grab this little object here.
Yep.
And I wish I wasn't a part of this podcast anymore. I'm using my escape clause. Fuck this.
I mean, I wish I had an escape clause for this podcast. That's what we need, huh?
Alright, that's enough of those jokes.
Oh, no, I've written them down 8 times.
Yeah, I've done them a lot.
Oh, fuck, we've done the exact same bits. Were you going to keep saying
This is an hour. We've got to fill an hour.
Okay, I normally don't want to say this. This film, let's just start with like the whole just overview. Yeah. We've got like an hour of faffing about.
It takes so long for a plot to start.
Yeah.
So unbelievably long for a plot to start.
And then the second it does, they're like, we're done.
Oh my god. As soon as they're like...
You like the faffing about? We've got so much more faffing to do.
They're like, do you not think this is a really interesting little thing that we're doing right now? And I'm like, oh, now it is. And they're like, good, it's over.
Yeah.
Get back to the real fucking world and then fuck off in the credits. And you're like, oh, it's visceral. Anyway, let's get into...
Let's jump into it. Mrs. Claus is teaching a class.
Yeah. Thank God she's catching us up.
Yeah.
She's like, so Tim Allen fucked me.
Yeah.
Doggy?
Well, she's teaching maths, and then one of the kids is like, Miss, how did Tim Allen blow out your uterus? She's like, well, kids, gather around. I've got a story to tell.
Basically, it began when he killed a man.
Stole his clothes, and he got cursed with his horrible life. He had to leave his child behind and his divorcee wife.
Yeah.
The kids are like, oh, it's already Christmas spirity. She's like, don't worry, that's the first half of the first.
Now, I was the principal of a school. And I was mean.
No Christmas spirits. Dare I say I was on the verge of ending it all. And then Tim Allen showed up in my life and kidnapped me. So, and I can't end it here, apparently. There's no guns.
She's like, I've tried to drown myself in snow. Can't be done.
Yep.
Anytime I've tried to do anything to myself, you fuckers all try and save me with your little hands and your pointy ears.
You can get into, that's the thing about modern surgery. Doctors have big hands. They can't get into the organs, whereas you little elves, all the elves are played by kids as well.
Yeah.
I prefer the Who version where they're like, well, we put adults in hideous makeup. That makes you really upset.
I think the best depiction of this is still Elf.
Yeah.
I quite like the them doing size stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, just, what's that called?
It's like force perspective.
Yeah.
Really clever.
Yeah.
These ones are just like, they're like, we can't afford that. This is a huge drop in budget in comparison to the second one.
Really?
By the way, I think the second one had like a $65 million budget. This is a $12 million budget.
Stop it, 12 million.
12 million. So I actually think, because this is just, this is probably why the movie barely leaves this one set. This one set looks great.
It does look great.
The Santa's village looks
Congratulations.
awesome.
What was Tim Allen getting paid for this? Like, he was like...
Probably the other, like, 11 million. And then all those kids, they were just there.
I do like that they've hired kids because they're like, well, it's cheap. We can only do a 6-hour day, so really cost is low.
That's good, because nobody wants to be here past six hours.
Yeah.
Tim's like, I'll be in the trailer for the next 18 hours of the day. So...
You can go home, Tim. He's like, no, I've lost the home.
No, the home is gone. I'm
It needs
sharing
some
a trailer with...
improvement.
Oh, he's done it. Anyway, Mrs. Claus is ready to pop.
Yeah.
She's very pregnant.
Yeah.
She is getting wheeled to the delivery room.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor is again a child. I keep forgetting that they're meant to be hundreds of years old. So I keep on just being like, that person's not equipped to bring out a baby.
No.
Don't believe in it. Don't want to see it. Also, if you remember from the other movies, there is Bernard.
Yes.
Bernard is just a godsend. I love Bernard. Bernard was the character of these films.
He was. He was like, dare I say, the saving grace.
Oh, he was the saving grace.
Where is
for
he in
sure.
this film?
Not here. He has not returned.
What was he doing?
I don't know.
He was filming Numbers.
Oh, that's right. They solved crimes with numbers. It was a hit too. Yeah, so I think it's really funny because they've replaced him with the kid from the Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad.
Condor.
The Breslin that doesn't act anymore.
Yeah.
Abigail's in this film.
She is.
She gets nominated for an Oscar this year.
Does she actually? Is this Little Miss Sunshine
This
year?
is the same year as Little Miss... And Alan Arkin's in both of them.
Wow.
Isn't that kind of a coinky dink?
It is a bit of a quinky dink. Funny them rocking up at a set. It's like, what have you been just on? I've done a magical wasteland. Just like, oh, me too. It was depressing. Tim was there.
I bet you... I don't know what was shot first, but I like to think she was just in Little Miss Sunshine. And she's with all the kids, and they're like, oh, have you ever acted before? And she was like, I was just in like an indie darling.
Yeah.
Sort of shot for like...
Yeah, there's a lot of Oscar buzz around
Yeah,
it. What
there's
are
a
you
lot
doing,
of-
Jacob? Oh, I just got to level 5 reading, so,
I shat myself over there a little bit earlier, and I've been told I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom until that camera stops rolling. So you could say things aren't great. How was Greg Kinnear in person?
Yeah, so Mrs. Claus pretty much, I think, after like children have pretty much been around her in the hospital, she's like, I need to get away from these little freaks.
Oh,
Can
God.
we get my...
She's freaked out by it.
Yeah.
She was like, there's a part where they all go, we love you, Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
And I think that's where she said, I've had enough.
Had enough. I've been here 9 months. Get me out of this hellhole.
Yeah.
Get my parents here, which is a bad sign.
Also, really quickly, if she's teaching math,
Yeah.
how young are these elves meant to be? 'Cause can an elf die? Are these elves producing other elf children?
An
Because
elf-
they're children.
An elf is a curse, essentially. You can't ever die.
This is all a curse. The
All-
Santa Claus is a curse.
Oh, yeah. There's no life out of this life. Essentially, elves are made to learn math and then work in a sweatshop for hundreds of years.
And they've been conditioned to think they love it.
They do. They do. Constantly like, oh, we can't build toys in bad conditions for years and hours at end. Ah, this sucks. I wish I was doing that until the plot gets in. But anyway, so Mrs. Claus is like, Tim, I need my parents here. They're also sat in like his office, which I think maybe half the budget went to this fireplace.
Oh my god, this fireplace is bizarre. A bizarre choice. Especially when he comes down the chimney in it and does that stretch, and I'm like, ugh.
Yuck. Yeah, it's Tim Allen's face as Santa with a gaping mouth that's just inviting you to just make a...
And it's just fire. Like,
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to... Like, somebody was going to die in that fire in the mouth. And the mouth was going to close and, like, swallow.
Yeah.
And then just, like...
Oh, burp. It would definitely burp at the
Oh,
end.
it would. And a little bit of fire would come out.
Yeah.
And then, like, the tie of Martin Short would come out. And we'd be like, the evil is defeated. Yeah. So basically, they're sort of pitching the idea that because she's pregnant, they haven't seen her family in a while, the in-laws should be coming up.
Yes.
Which is putting a bit of strain on their relationship.
This is the first, I dare to say, plot that we've kind of got given. Like, at the moment, we're like, I was confused, because at the start, you're kind of like, oh, I didn't remember the in-laws being that much of a plot point.
No,
really.
neither. But then, because I remember this other plot line, which is far more interesting.
Yeah.
Which is, they've got, like, the alliance of magical creatures.
Yes.
So you got Easter Bunny.
Cupid, Father Time,
Yeah.
Mother Nature.
Some of these ones that you're like, do they count? What the
No.
fuck is Father Time?
Hey, he's just time. You got Sleepy Dude.
Sandman.
Is he Sandman?
Sandman.
Is he
Have you not seen Legends of the Guardians?
of Gahul?
No, the one where Alec Baldwin's Santa. And everybody had a crush on Jack Frost.
Yes, and I will bring this up because because people around me were saying like that Jack Frost is hot, which is a strange thing. I think honestly, if
This is the hot one.
yeah, I thought they were talking about this one. I'm like, listen, Martin Short's got some range. You know, people are jacking their cocks over to Jack
This
Frost.
is the sexiest Martin Short's ever been.
Oh yeah,
His frosted tips.
oh my god,
I'll frost his tip if you know what I mean. Huh? Huh?
We don't know, Carl. What does that mean?
Okay, so basically it's when you put a lot of whipped cream in your mouth.
And he just sticks his icy fingers down your throat until you're sad.
So the Easter Bunny, who they call EB.
Yeah.
So this is before Hop. So Hop's stolen this. The Easter Bunny looks like a furry. Is a furry.
It's quite upsetting, isn't it? I don't know what it does. I feel bad for the actor because everyone's kind of got their face in the scene, whereas they're like, "What if you were just a hideous little creature?" I don't know why.
This should be the most famous person. This should be like George Clooney or something. They should have gotten somebody really famous to be the Easter Bunny.
100%.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like wisecracking, and I want to kind of. He's kind of a bit like pervy. I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't know why they've gone the Easter Bunny's pervy.
Yeah, I know, right? The
It's
furry
Easter.
is
It's
pervy.
Jesus, okay? It's the Jesus holiday, and you've sainted it with your weird Easter Bunny, your EB. But yeah, they're all kind of like the Justice League of holidays.
Yeah.
Jack Frost rocks up. He's like, I want a holiday. I want a holiday. Okay? I put a bunch of me signs up. Just real quickly, Martin Short is the only thing I enjoy about this film.
Saving grace
Yeah.
of the film. He's got not only a great performance, a really cool design.
Yeah.
Whoever's like actually done the design of his coat and like the suit and his hair
Yeah.
and everything like that, it looks cool.
And as a result, I'm only on his side.
Yes, absolutely.
For the rest of the film, I'm pretty much... This is a tragic tale of how a man who wanted an underdog gets shut down by the big man. Now, Jack Frost wants a holiday, essentially. He's like, I'm just the opener for Santa. And then Tim Allen's like, well, I'm a divorced dad, I'm a shit Santa, and I'm a bad husband. So that's on my plate at the moment. Everyone's like, Tim, that's not on us. That seems like it's a you problem.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I need Jack Frost to help me build. I don't know what he's gonna do.
It's weird because Jack Frost is a season.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like a thing.
Yeah.
Although Mother Nature's here as well.
I don't know why Mother Nature's like a step above. Like,
She's God, right?
Yeah, it seems like
In
she's...
comparison to the rest of them, Mother Nature's God.
Yeah.
But he's got superpowers. He's Iceman,
Yeah.
essentially, from X-Men.
Yeah.
And yet he wants to be Santa of all things? Dude, they're basically like, you froze over Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what's wrong with that? And it's just like, you have all the power. Just freeze everyone here, and you can do it.
Well, that's a big plot point, because they're like, we can't use our powers against the other people.
Oh, that's right.
But then it also goes, like, how they're going to punish him. What's their punishment? They're like,
He's got to work in Santa's sweatshop.
Yeah.
They're like, and he's like,
Imagine the elves hearing that around them, just like, what do you mean that's a punishment for killing a bunch of people in, like, Haiti?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why are we here?
Santa's like, there's no world outside of here.
Stay in your little lane, see little elf.
I would love to watch just the drama unfold of this table. Like, I would love Succession, but it's these magical creatures.
I think so. I think there's, like, everyone's got, like, their own motivations. The film's kind of like, the Christmas spirit, but quite a few of these people are like, well, I'm a holiday because I'm here to make money. I don't understand, is their motivation to make money?
I don't, yeah.
Because a lot of them seem like, I want a holiday so I can, like...
But it's like, why does Jack Frost even need money? Because his whole thing is he's like, I commercialized Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like, but did you need an income? You're a magical being.
I'm convinced, and we'll get into it, it's because of the musical number. And honestly, worth it.
Oh, it's most of the film. It doesn't fucking end. We'll get to it, but it does not end. So after this, he then travels to go and see his biological son, his ex-wife, his ex-wife's husband.
And I remember that as a child, me going, is this a hang-up from the other film? It's weird seeing Tim, the consequences of the first film, like a divorcee. Because essentially his son, who was like the first one, loved in the first one, is now old.
He's the main. He's also a main in the second one.
Yeah.
And he's returning for this new one.
Yeah.
So it was weird that he's in the... It was just weird that they were like... Because the drama of the first one is that they're a very fractured family.
Yes.
Right? So it's weird that this wife is like, just come around because he's Santa. It's like, you're magic. So it's kind of like, why wouldn't I love you?
Yeah, so the wife and the new husband, and his
Judge
son,
Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold.
He's so good.
Great
He's
name.
Great.
Oh
He's
my
great
God.
in everything.
This family now, so we've got...
It's so positive it's unhealthy.
Yeah,
that's what I want to say.
That's what I want to say. It's weird, and seeing this as a kid, I'm like, is this what most families are? Just Santa visiting his ex-wife, new husband, his son, and now, what's this daughter to him? Is this his ex-daughter?
No, this is just what's it called?
But what does Tim Allen call this?
Has no relation.
No relation.
Has
right?
no biological relation to this new girl.
I don't think there's even a word for it.
But it's obviously Disney going, no, we want a young kid again.
Yes.
But that other one's aged out.
Yeah. He's hideous. Look at him. Just he's 20.
Yeah, but the crux is she's pregnant, so you just got to be attached to another random child.
Yes.
Weird,
right?
Yeah, especially because this child sucks as a character. I'm just like, you suck.
Oh, as a character? Yeah. I don't know. Well, she hasn't. For some reason,
what's the point of her?
Yeah, we've got 90 minutes, and for some reason, nothing is like nothing.
Nothing's
no art.
happening.
Yeah.
It's
kind of Tim Allen just going through the day. Like, imagine watching a Santa Claus movie and just like, what is the logistics of Santa? Like, how does he visit his family?
Have you ever seen Patterson? It's just like 7 days in the life of Adam Driver as a bus driver.
Oh, no, but I've heard good things.
Oh, beautiful film.
Yeah.
But this is the Santa version of it.
Just him kind of catching up with like people, kind of having interesting interactions, but nothing really. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Even though he's Santa, you think there'd be something here. Yeah. So then he's like, "All right." Yeah, the kid's like, "All right, I want to go to the North Pole." He's like, "Fine."
They're all like, we all want to go. Yeah. So they've now come up for the idea that essentially the secret of Santa must be held.
Yeah.
So
except sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't really get this whole rule.
So they've come up with the idea that the Santa's land is now going to be Canada.
Yeah.
And they're going to fly the in-laws in.
Which I think so far best bit.
It's a funny
idea.
Yeah. They rely on this bit.
Oh yeah, this bit gets wrung out. Just like what are all the comedy we've got some farting reindeer and the Canada bit.
Yeah.
Is that all working for you? Like we've got 90 minutes to fill.
I have a bit of an idea that I think this movie was written not with the understanding that the budget was going to be down to 12 million.
Yeah.
So for me, it's what they've done is they've stretched what would be just the first 25 minutes of a film into the first hour.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie really should be taking place once the clause is used.
100%.
But because it's pushed so far in the film, all of the bits that would be quick and funny, like the Canada bit, is long and padded out for an extreme amount of time.
Because it's 90 minutes. An hour of the film is just like it feels like that is the first 30 minutes, and then what I remember as a kid being the majority of the film should be a good hour.
Yeah. It's pretty much Shrek Forever After.
That's what I thought exactly.
Yeah.
Except Shrek Forever After came after.
Yeah.
It's also...
But they were just like, why didn't you just go back in time for the full thing?
Yeah.
And they just rock... Like, Rumpelstiltskin is just Jack Frost.
Jack Frost, yeah, exactly.
Like, so similar. So, shame.
What's that film about Christmas where he goes back in time? He's like, wishes I
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also just like a wonderful life as well.
So they get Alan Arkin, who's just been... I do not understand the concept of... Tim Allen's rocked up to his in-laws' house.
Yes.
And he's gone, let's fly you over. Why aren't they ready to go?
Well, again,
They're
I feel
so
like
casual.
they're padding the movie. They're like, what if we spend a bit of time here? And we're like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to see how the in-laws got here. It could be like a 2-minute scene. They're like, it's going to be 6 minutes. They're going to have like a weird, like the movie's like, this story they're telling is boring. And they let the story play out.
You can absolutely open this movie on, oh God, I'm like, Santa Claus is like, I'm in a rush. Christmas Eve is fast approaching.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of turning it to Canada and the in-laws are about to be there.
Yes.
Set it up. 5 minutes. Done. The in-laws arrive. There you go. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so they arrive there. They do buy that it's Canada, and it makes me think less of them.
Oh, it makes me feel, I think they're quite bigoted. The fact that they walk into this town where it's obviously children.
It's so obviously children.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, these little freaky Canadians? Yeah, yuck. I get it. Oh, God, I don't want to be here longer than this, though. This is freaking me out, these filthy Canadians.
They should have made them vaguely blind. Don't you reckon? Like, they're just...
What, spit in their eyes?
Just like... Surely they've got, like, another magical being, like Acid Man or something that's just, like... and just, like, blinds them temporarily.
Oh, God, I can't see anything except snow and small things, I think.
And they're like, those small things are Canadians.
Canadians.
And
Say
like,
your lines, kids. I mean, hey.
elves.
They are. It does make me feel a bit. I know it's a kids' film, but we're just going through the logic here.
But
I think they're quite racist to think that this is what Canadians look like.
Oh, I think so. I also would like to posit a concept.
Yes, hit me.
Is cocoa crack?
I'm glad you said it. Jack Frost. Jack Frost is going around, is causing mischief, and he's like, hey kids, elves, you want some cocoa? It's got a little hint of vanilla in it.
He says, there's a suggestion of vanilla in it.
Those little kids.
And they're licking their chops.
Yeah.
They're going...
They're scratching their arms like, God, I've not had cocoa in a couple of years, Jack. He's like, well, guess what? We got a bunch.
I don't even know if my body could handle it anymore.
You ever felt the warm feeling of cocoa running through your body?
He's like, you're only 430.
Yeah.
What do you got left to lose? You've had a full life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he does
Take
this.
the day off work, you know.
He does this.
One day's not going to hurt you. Bunch of heroin addicts listening to this podcast, like,
You're right.
You're right.
I'm gonna get on cocoa. But this is his plan. Is he constantly is just like, there's cocoa in a room somewhere, and he's just like, and now I will take a plug out, and then this happens 5 times.
I can't believe the film. Like, so much bad things have happened, but not even bad things. Just kind of like, why is all the gears icy? Why?
So clearly, there's ice everywhere.
At every crime scene, there's a bunch of ice. It's like...
Sometimes he's just turned a knob to fast, and they're like, we don't know how to fix it. Turn it back to slow.
I can't. It's frozen over. By Jack Frost breath, I can only assume.
Why is there even a knob to make it fast if it's going to break the machine anyway?
I love the switch is like pressed to overload. Like, why would you ever need that for like pants?
I did love it, because I also want to posit the idea this would not have happened if Bernard was around.
Oh God, but
we're going to call him Concrete or
Concrete. Yeah.
Yeah. From Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
He is at fault. He is not a good number 1 elf.
I will say this, though. The film does a good job of it. They were like, he's not ready to step up, but he's going to give it a go. And he's like almost like a bit nervous about the job.
Yeah.
But he is fucking up quite poorly. Not well.
He's not well. I also just realized because they've made the place look like Canada, they all just wear human clothing, which must have saved a lot on the production budget as well. They're all just in like North Face.
Yeah. Kids, just pretend it's a cold day at set and we'll just wear that. We'll just like draw some Canada like letters on your face.
So fun. Yeah, so anyway, Jack Frost is leading them all astray. It's just like...
Nothing happened.
But I do think the cocoa is crack, because later in the film, Tim Allen's like, oh my God, I can't believe the adventure I've had. I've missed you so much. And she's been like, have you had some cocoa?
Yeah.
Which just makes me think they're all just getting fucking high on
He's
this
like,
cocoa.
I need to fuck right now, but my cock does not work. Let's get in that room right now. I'm
like,
jonesing for something that can feel warm.
It's like, I mixed rum and cocoa together and I shouldn't have, and I'm gonna black out. Oh no, I'm gonna brown out. Oh.
That's what overdosing on cocoa's called. Oh no, I'm browning out, dude. Call a very small elf doctor to help me out.
I love the idea of an elf doctor coming with a stethoscope being like, we can't do anything for him.
He's cocoed out.
He's cocoed out. You've either got to let him ride the high or let him die.
The elf doctor whispers in, chase the dragon.
Find a way out. You can do it.
Yeah, Jack Frost gets all these elves hooked on crack, you know?
I've got a handful of little issues.
Yeah,
Right.
hit me.
Okay.
Because I feel like the last 30 minutes we can talk about...
hours.
For hours.
I can fill that for an amount of time.
Yeah, let's get through the faffing.
I'm going to deep dive into how it's beat for beat Avengers Endgame.
Oh my god, thank god. Go on, though.
No. So one of the things is, has this place left all the toy making to the night before Christmas?
Oh my god, these lazy fuckers. I mean, it shows, like, Tim Allen in the first movie, he's like a CEO boss, but like he doesn't actually really work. Like, he's a workaholic, but like not really. Lazy. I don't understand how they've let this happens every fucking year.
Be ready.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things where it's like, you should have everything done about a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
But I think you could conservatively do it in a month.
Yeah.
So you could just work, I reckon, September.
Yeah.
You know? And here's the thing. Maybe you're going to be somebody that's like, oh, but there's new kids born every single day. Yeah? Well, a lot of kids fucking die every day too. So some of those presents can just go to the newborn. Okay?
Exactly.
So don't tell me you're working out who's on the naughty and nice list the night before you've got to work. Santa works one day a fucking year, and he's still not prepared. Which brings me to the other issue. Everybody in the film should leave him alone. He's got one day to work, and they're all just like, the family's falling apart. That's just, on the busiest day, you know I only work one day. I have 24 hours to deliver all the presents in the world, and you're telling me that we're having relationship issues now?
I love like, it's such a fun one, because like essentially this was happening in the first film, but it was like a corporate job, so you didn't care. But now it's so magical, but they've still brought the depressing workaholic. It's like, what if Santa was a workaholic? It's tough for him. He's divorced. He's not seeing his divorced kid.
What's he a workaholic on, though? He's only got to do this
One
once
day.
a year.
Once
a year.
What's he doing? Because it seems like he's like the elves are sorting themselves out.
They don't need a leader.
No,
their boss.
he's an Uber. He's an Uber Eats driver for presents all around the world.
As we've been told, their boss constantly dies. They go into a snow globe room and he's like, these are all the souls of all the past Santas. They die all the time. Hell, we're going to watch one die twice in this film. That person will have died 3 times in total over the course of
Their
the
soul
three
trapped
films.
in this globe room forever, I guess.
This is where
screaming.
I'll go if I accidentally slip.
Yeah, I don't really get what they're doing for the rest of the year. Because it seems like the pregnant wife's been pregnant for 9 months, and Tim's like, it's been so busy. She has no job.
Yeah.
What's Mrs. Claus
She's
doing?
teaching math
Actually,
to
yeah,
100-year-olds?
She has a job.
Yeah.
She has a job. Tim does not have a job.
No, absolutely. It's just one of... Who's financing this? Magic? Who came up with the clause? Who came up with the actual Santa clause?
Here's the thing, you got to read between the lines, Carl, of the contract and the plot. You see, it's weaved in here. I'm not going to go into it, because I know it, you don't.
I just think that there's issues with, like... Do the elves not... Like, when Tim Allen came back instead of the actual Santa...
Yeah.
Did they mourn the loss? What happened to his wife and kids?
True, actually, yeah.
Because it's a clause that he has to have a wife.
In the oven, in the big gingerbread oven, in you go.
The elves
Mrs.
just
Claus.
the elves are just like, the new Santa's dead. Eat the rich! Just like...
Some kids are like snuffing cocoa in his face, like, oh, I'm gonna fucking eat Mrs. Claus out. I'm gonna eat her fucking legs.
Everyone knows that means we get sharpening knives, we get to take off a reindeer. This time we're having Comet.
Yeah, the elves definitely ate the last Mrs. Claus because the second movie is all about how Santa needs a wife.
You have to. So then, what happened? Does the wife also disappear? Like, is it one of those packs where it's like, if he dies, you fucking die, you disappear as well?
It's in the clause. She's like, I didn't sign that. Like, if Tim Allen gets hurt, you get hurt.
Just like if I were you, I'd use that escape clause because it's a hefty contract.
This is a curse, and we live forever in a sweatshop. It's bad for us. I do not envy you.
Oh, all right. Shall we get to?
Should we get to? I'm happy just to skip to
Also,
Jack.
can we just also quickly say, in terms of how good the fireplace looks,
Yeah. Well,
why aren't the parents tipped off by this?
are you saying it's good?
No.
I'm saying it's like a massive ego trip.
Oh, it is a massive ego trip, but don't you reckon they would just be like, a full fireplace as your face? Does the fireplace change if he's killed?
I think so. I think the elves get to eat the marble, but that's not as fun. They're like,
Is it just Tim Allen's fireplace? And you
I
brought
think
it to
I
set?
think Tim. Can we do a day of shooting at my house? Yeah, sure. Does it look kind of Christmassy though? He's like, well, I mean, I've got a big fireplace on my face with a beard. Could that work? They're like, well, but why do you have that, Tim? He's like, shut the fuck up.
He's like, because I went to John Hamm's house once, and he had the same thing, and I've been around longer, so I deserve it too.
Also, I have a bunch of kids running around my house in Canadian outfits. Could that work for the film?
He's like, you'll love it. They're just constantly writing Toy Story improv for me. All right, so we get to the point that they're going to go back in time.
Yeah. So here's the Santa Claus plot. Again, we are an hour in. Jack has gotten the snow globe from the snow globe room.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
With ease.
Yeah, with ease.
It was behind a Red Bull knockoff.
Yeah, Red Deer.
Is that funny?
I laughed for 4 minutes, so you tell me.
Good. In that case, I'll do all my bits on it then.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Yeah, so it's like is this even funny? Oh, it is? Great. I'm jumping on I'm jumping on the bit. Red Deer gives you not wings because they fly already. Ah!
Red Deer gives you red nose.
Yeah, so Jack Frost pretty much gets a snow globe. If you say a wish into it,
this
happens.
is a shit clause.
Yeah.
Because one, both of the times it's used, once it's used with a pen,
Yeah.
and once it's said not seriously.
Yeah.
So I don't know how and or why this counts.
I don't get why, but does a snow
It's
globe...
magic.
Yeah.
Why is it listening to a recorded pen?
What, like... It's just Siri, essentially. Because Siri fucks up all the time. Just like, she doesn't Siri, can you call me an ambulance? She'll call you an ambulance.
She's like playing ambulance by...
So Jack Frost steals the snow globe.
Yeah.
He then, like, Tim Allen's pretty much like, his son hates him, his new ex-daughter hates him, the in-laws hate him, and I think his old wife and husband hate him, and his new wife hates him. Because I think he dropped the star on a Christmas tree. Again, I wasn't paying attention.
Again, it's one
I
of
needed
those
an
things...
escape clause to get out of this movie.
Whoa! One of those things though where it's just like, why are you upset the night before? You know he's got to work.
Yeah. It's the only day you
Celebrate
have to work.
Christmas the day after.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking wait.
But yeah, Jack Frost gets the snow globe. He then goes up to Tim Allen. He's like, you having a rough day? He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, bet you wish you weren't Santa. And Tim Allen's like, I guess I do wish I wasn't Santa. He's like, say that again. I wish I wasn't Santa. All right, I'm trying to get the box open. Can you say it a third time? He's like,
it's a long bit.
Yeah, he's like, I wish I wasn't Santa. He's like, there's a lot of ribbon here. Let me get this box undone. One more time.
But they don't explain that the escape clause takes you back in time.
No.
It also doesn't explain that if you're holding on to the person that's going back in time,
You get to travel back in time.
It's weird. Anyway.
But also, I don't get that, like, because he wishes, I wish I wasn't Santa. I don't know why the snow globe wouldn't be like, all right. The snow globe's like, well, you're doing the heavy lifting. You have to kill yourself in a past life. Like, pretty lazy, honestly, on the snow globe.
Absolutely. So they have like a little tussle,
Yeah.
and Jack Frost gets the coat.
Yeah.
Which changes it all.
So this is like, but it's filmed like in the first movie. Like, it's scenes from the first movie.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
It's one of those things where I think if it was all the back in time stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the type of movie you would do now for the nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
Where he would then travel back into the other movies. Like maybe
100%.
this is what if this movie hadn't happened, this is the type of plot I could see the new television show being about.
100%. But again, we're an hour in. This plot just started.
So far. It's interesting, but I'm too bored to care.
I'm too bored to care. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm in it, but like,
I remember this being the full film.
Me too, but I timed it. It's 17 minutes.
Oh, it's not even an episode of The Simpsons.
No. So pretty much Jack Frost gets the coat and Tim Allen goes back to his old previous life where he's an evil CEO.
Yep.
Is he happier? I think he would be happier in his life.
I thought maybe he might have been
Yeah.
too. He's got a pretty sick apartment.
Yeah.
I do love that he asks his assistant, he's like, where's my family? And he's like, I don't know, you don't talk about them.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I'm going to go see my family. And he's got a pretty sweet ride.
Oh, he does.
I'd jump in that car and I'd be like, oh, maybe this is better.
The film's kind of like Christmas magic's really important. I'm gonna say right now, money seems great in this universe.
Oh my god, you
money
know what?
Talks.
Because you know what I ask for every Christmas? Money. Because I'm poor.
Yeah, mum and dad, fuck the Baileys. I want money. Give me cold hard cash. That's the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. Hugs good and all.
Yeah.
But it's not paying for my fucking hex fees.
Also, don't come to the Christmas. The ham was very expensive. I want to make it last all of January.
That's meant to be sandwiches for days. Okay, I'm going to freeze some of it. What do you mean you got fresh seafood?
I'll take that.
Anything that doesn't last more than 24 hours is not worthy to me. So basically, he's still got these issues with his family. The wife's like, I hate you. The son's like, I hate you even more.
I don't get this at all because we assume that Tim has divorced his already ex-wife.
Yeah.
Why has the new husband also got a divorce from his wife? Was like Tim Allen being Santa Claus the glue of their relationship?
Maybe.
What? Like I don't.
Isn't that sad?
It's really sad.
It is really weird because when he asks Judge Reinhold,
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, it's your fault too."
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah, your son didn't want me to be his dad, so I said fuck it, and I just took the kid I liked."
Yeah. I don't get how their marriage is broken.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Tim Allen's like, I'm Santa over here for 12 years. I don't know how they broke down. Like, have we not got an ex-husband who's Santa? Like,
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't want to be in this.
It's one of those things where it's like, if this was the full film, it's like you get to sort of figure out a lot of the more fun, interesting things that have happened in these people's lives without him being
Yes,
Santa.
definitely.
Because it's also weird you don't get to see the wife.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, she moved town, so that he doesn't have to go and see her. And it's like, oh, but that, again, these things are all interesting. Like, you should see what her life is like if she's just stuck with her parents. We should be seeing Alan Arkin and stuff like that. Like,
100%. I feel like just copy It's a Wonderful Life. Well, not even copy the idea of what I think it is.
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes of, wow, this Santa shit's pretty fucking awful. Maybe I don't want to be Santa. Just Shrek the forfeit.
it's not hard because if you do 20 minutes at the beginning setting it up and then 20 minutes at the end that sort of ties it all together, that only means you have to waste 50 minutes in the middle to get it to the 90-minute runtime.
Half the scenes are already filmed. You've got them on the. You've already filmed them for episode 1.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's like, no, they've commercialized Christmas.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm on the first flight there. It's so quick.
Yeah.
He's back to the North Pole
Well, he's got money,
so fast.
so he's got everything at his disposal.
He should have been in
He
first
should be
class.
happier.
He's
be
not
happier.
in first class, though.
Oh, that's impressive.
Sad.
Yeah,
Sad.
I don't know how important this is, but like that secret of Santa thing, is that just out the window? Does that not really matter?
Well, yeah, so Martin Short was like, it was too hard.
Great.
So he was like, we don't do it anymore. And and if you can afford to come here and celebrate Christmas, that's what we encourage.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
When we see Martin Short as Santa, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
His costume looks sick.
It does look
His
sick.
beard looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's all great.
I'm happy for him. I think this is a good universe. I think Tim Allen should be an evil CEO. I think Jack Frost is nailing it as Santa.
Yeah.
I think all the divorcee parents are, hey, you get to go to Christmas land. So that's a win.
Absolutely. So in like one of the things I do think the movie like misses, if again, this is if it was longer, or you didn't waste so much time at the beginning, but he runs into Conrad.
Yeah.
Right? He should be like, no, what's going on? This is wrong. I used to be Santa. And Conrad should be like, yeah, whatever, random guy. And he's like, no, Jack Frost used the escape clause on me.
Yeah.
and that should trigger him, and then that's your kid in the film,
Yeah.
right? Don't you think that like makes more? And then it's like, oh, the elf, because the elves aren't happy there.
Which I don't get, because the elves are like, oh,
We want.
I want to be in a sweatshop, huffing cocoa, but instead I'm here, I'm a theme park attendant. I think this is a better job for them, honestly.
Oh, it's like, oh, do you want to be essentially? It's like you get to graduate up from being Nike workers to Disneyland workers. And hell, I know who I'd rather be.
Both are bad. Don't
Dead.
You? Yeah, dead. Yeah, honestly. Now, you mentioned that the Spencer, what's it called, Conrad plotline is smarter. What if I told you he's selling pens that record your voice? So we can just skip through all that. He goes, hey, would you like this pen? It records your voice. Click, clock, records his voice.
Isn't this fun for kids? We mass produce these because they're great. Don't you want to record things and write them down?
Is this a Christmas thing? They were like, why would this be the best seller at the store?
Only there
Yeah.
for the plot.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It could be anything else. Like, wouldn't it make more sense for them to have like a plush like Santa, and you squeeze the bell and you can talk into it, and then
Yeah.
Santa will repeat itself? But
I'm convinced that in the writing room they had a pen that did that. Went, yep, that'll do. Right, what else we got to do?
I'm convinced Disney accidentally bought like 1 billion of them, and they were like,
Make this a big selling toy.
We've only got $12 million for marketing material. Put that product in this movie, and then that's the $12 million.
2006, that was the biggest seller
Yeah.
in the world.
And then if this sells well, we'll give you a 4th one. If not, you're gonna have to wait for us to make a thing called Disney Plus for another one. And they're like, okay,
What's that? They finally sold all their pens. That's how they afforded Disney Plus.
yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
good for them.
Good for them. I don't know why. I do love how much he's just like, hey, child, I have no relation to. What happened to our great relationship?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're a fucking stranger to me.
You're a stranger. Tim Allen's like, don't worry, I'm gonna do something that is never looked poorly in a theme park. I'm gonna steal you, and then we're gonna solve some mysteries together. And Judge is like, where's my daughter? And it cuts. It's like, that man is in distress. He's lost his daughter at a theme park.
Huh? What? Where? It's also like, I don't understand because they're like, this is the big event everybody comes to for Christmas Eve is like the Santa show, right?
Yeah.
There's no chairs. They sit on the floor.
There's like 40 people here.
It's just like if this was a big thing, there'd be chairs.
I think this would be like a Super Bowl event. It's Santa. He's magical.
Oh, it should. If the movie had a budget, this would be in a stadium.
Yeah.
Right? It would have a huge, big climactic ending.
Yeah.
I actually think if the script had been good and had they actually gone and back in time and stayed there for like a substantial amount of time,
Yeah.
you could have like tripled this budget, and I reckon you would have made your money back.
I think so. Did it make its money? I feel like it made a
It
lot.
made 110 million off a 12 million budget.
Oh, good for them. I mean, that was one of me. Maybe they just got told all the schools to go watch it. Hey, put 100 kids in a seat. That'll sell.
God, this musical number's so long.
It's long, but dare I say, my favorite part of the movie.
It's so. What do you mean it's so long?
It's
one of those things where-
he's having fun. Martin Short is having an absolute ball, and you can't criticize him for that.
It's totally. He was like, I have to do a musical number
Yeah.
if I'm in this film.
And they were like, sure.
Any other movie would start with a musical number, cut away to the kid, cut back, he's finishing the musical number.
Yeah.
This movie is like, it starts the musical number, cuts to the kid, cuts back, and he's restarted the musical number.
He's like, I'm gonna start over again. Let's start from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. Christmas.
He's like, and now Lana Del Rey, we're gonna do video games together. Should we write one?
Want an escape clause?
Yeah.
Which is a contract to get out of the podcast.
I think if we write a contract
Yeah.
now, that's just like, if I'm ever this unhappy again recording a podcast, we should both get to leave.
What, so next week?
So, probably. Very, very likely. Yucky. This movie's yucky.
Yeah, so Tim Allen gets on the stage, starts beating the shit out.
This is the best bit.
This is the best bit.
When he kicks him on a swing, it's intense. It's one of the most violent things I've ever seen in a Disney film.
It's really bad. He grabs a candy cane, jaggers the side, like it's glass bottles, starts shanking the elves. Not in the script as well, which is crazy. Tim Allen did that.
Yeah, anyway, and then he just uses the pan on the ball and they go back.
Yeah.
17 minutes is done. The subtitle of the film is over.
Yeah. I can't believe this. Like, it's that done and quick. I thought the whole movie was this. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, like, strange that this is, like, the story. The rest is just literal padding.
Yeah. We've only got other notable things like Alan Arkin saying, "They're not little Canadians, they're elves."
Yeah.
Which I think is a great quote for 2006.
I'll be honest, I slept, like, pretty much went straight to bed as I was watching this. Do you have anything else to add? They wrap up a bunch of stuff.
I thought Father Time might have played it. It's one of those things where it's like you would have just used some of the other magical creatures as well.
Yeah.
Like, you've got some fun, like Father Time and Sand. Like, it should be.
When you
like,
have a time travel, like, thing in it.
like, wouldn't Father Time be like there's an issue on the timeline
Yeah.
or something fun like that? It's like there's actually a lot of imagination that could have been put into the film, and they've chosen to just rely on Martin Short's improv.
Yeah.
Of him just being like, "I invented chill," and just words like that. I believe they either changed the end or they reshot the ending. I know Bernard was meant to come back at the end.
Oh, really?
And they were going to arrest Martin Short, but instead they go, a hug cures him.
I hated this so much.
This. He looked awful.
Yeah.
He looked great when he was frozen.
He looked great, and then he comes back, he's in, like, a white suit with, like, slicked down hair.
It's not a good look for him.
It's not a good look.
It's also like, is there now no snow in the world anymore?
Yeah, they just
Have
got
they
rid of
ruined
winter.
the climate?
Yeah, pretty much they were like, you know what? Those greenhouse gases did win.
Yeah.
How about that?
Why can her hug Thor him?
I don't know. The director's never met a kid before because kids do not inspire Christmas joy. They are annoying and they just sap the energy from you.
Yeah.
If anything, he should got it 10 times colder.
It should have overpowered her and frozen her. Really. She turns around and she's icy and she's just like, "I'm his daughter now." And it's like cliffhanger for the next one.
Oh my god.
That would have been good.
I'm in.
The parents being frozen was a little freaky.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they look frightening.
Yeah.
All
It wasn't
snowed
like
up.
fun, like, they were like proper, like, Arctic.
Yeah.
They got frostbite, huh?
Yeah.
Great for them.
I reckon they should have come out of it and been severely scarred.
Yeah, I wish.
Ah! just bleeding and their skin ripped off.
Oh my god, this like the skin peels it off.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
And they're like, "Mother Nature, can you do anything?" And she's like, "I can give them a quick death." Just smothers them in leaves.
Sorry, this takes hours. I'm composting them. Their bodies are gonna slowly
I
deteriorate.
can bring in an anaconda to slowly eat around them, but that's it.
8 to 7 months, you know? That's when they'll be dead.
And then this movie ends on weird bloopers.
It does end on weird bloopers. I've never seen bloopers not be funny.
I know. I did.
And just kind of tell the tale of a set, just like, man, Tim Allen seemed like he had a lot of power.
Oh, it was definitely one of those things where I was like, it looked like they were maybe enjoying themselves. Like that. It was one of those things where I was like, I'm not finding this funny, but it's good to know they enjoyed
Yeah.
themselves.
There's a fun bit where, like, I think my favorite one is Tim Allen and Martin Short when they're screaming for the snowball.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
screaming, ah! It goes on for very long, and they're like, one more time? Yeah, okay. That's fun.
Like, they seem to have gotten along.
Yeah,
Which begs the question, why didn't they spend more time together in the film?
of course. I mean,
'Cause
they tussled in the
They're
snow.
barely together in the film.
They are.
Whereas they probably should have been playing off one another.
100%. I remember them being, like, in a lot of rooms together.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm like, that's the movie.
Yeah. It's weird. Also, as a character arc, he doesn't have, like, an all is lost moment.
Who?
Tim Allen. It should be like, it shouldn't work, and he should have to go back to his day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And that's potentially when Conrad the Elf is like,
We need you back.
we need, like,
Yeah.
I've thought about it, maybe you really are Santa,
Yeah.
there's some sort of thing that makes him think it. There's a film in there.
Yeah.
There's ingredients.
I would love to know if this was the plan. Surely maybe they just didn't get the rights to the first Santa Claus. They're like, we can't afford the rights. We're like, we made it. It's ours. They were like, it's
Mickey's put it in a vault and Goofy's guarding it. So you try to get past his two front teeth. They're sharp.
He beat the shit out of me moments ago. So he calls it a goofy whack. It's still painful.
I know. The last thing I heard was, Oscar, who would watch The Santa Claus, The Escape Clause?
I mean, out of the three, I think it has the least to do about with divorce. So that's a win for this franchise.
Do you
Didn't know it had to have that.
Do you reckon it upset kids that were like, why aren't my divorced parents like the ones in the film?
Yeah. They were like, oh no, they are. Just when he goes back in time.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, this makes more sense.
Yes.
It's just Santa's the glue.
Yes. Wow, you really need magic to keep my parents alive. To go together. No, seriously, people, because this is weird. Because here's the thing: when you watch a Christmas movie at Christmas, normally you watch one. I don't know anyone that's watching a trilogy of a pretty mid-series. Like the first one, I think maybe people might revisit.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Because they're slower in terms of the... Like, they're definitely not like as like well-paced as these new ones. And there's funny-ish moments, but the entire trilogy, as I remember it, is not like adult funny.
Yeah.
Like, this one especially is just for kids, in my opinion. Did you laugh at anything?
There was one bit over when, and again, I think the best part is when he's taken over Christmas and it's the evil one. Over the speaker is shave a reindeer for $5. I think that's fun.
There's another one that's good that's a 6 p.m. elf throwing.
Yeah. I feel like Martin Short was in the booth, was just like, I'll rattle some stuff off. Great.
Yeah. He's
Love
on
him.
top of it.
Actually, this is Martin Short. Check him out. He's an up-and-comer.
That's true. Yeah, mine's just a shout-out to Just Watch Only Murders in the Building. If you like this, just enjoy that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Sometimes the film drains us of the podcast.
That's true. And it makes me sad and or ill.
Yeah.
God, I really wish I had an escape clause to get out of doing this. Who would watch this bit? Am I right?
Ah, yes. Hold for applause.
Applause, damn you! There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. So who are you settling on? Who do you think this is for?
I think Martin Short's the only interesting part of it.
But you can't give it to a Martin Short fan.
Yeah, I can.
Who?
Will. Me. I love this film. I changed my tune. 5 out of 5. You gotta check it out.
I'm gonna stick with, I'm pretty sure, what I said last week. Because I think I said it would be for a specific age demo.
Yeah, 5.
Did I say? I reckon it is for youngins. Like, I think it's so young.
Here's the thing. I don't know about you, but I thought I liked this one. Our two partners both liked this one.
Yeah.
So I feel like we all got tricked as children. It's to trick children, really.
Yeah. It was funny because when we were eating dinner last night, everybody was like, should we all watch a film? And I was like, oh, we can finish off the Santa Claus 3 with me. They've just gone back into the first film, and and Martin Short's got the jacket, and so now, and I was just like explaining what they were up to, and they were like, no.
So no one over the age of whenever I went to the cinema as a kid.
I think it's 5 and under.
Yeah.
I think it's just for like around the, because it's bright and vibrant, and you wouldn't know if you were a kid that it wasn't enjoyable.
I feel like you're like, if you ever have kids, you're just gonna put on like colorful shapes on the TV, be like, go on, you like that, and they're gonna love it.
Oh, they're gonna love it. You know, I was with like my niece the other day, and she is just obsessed with the concept of cars.
Yeah.
Obsessed. And it was one of those things where
Big Top Gear fan?
She's a big fan of Jeremy Clarkson. Loves his sense of humor. Who knew he was so popular with the 2-year-old demo? So she's very young, but it was one of those things where I realized that's why Cars is a success. Is it's just like kids love cars. Like they just love her dream, she told me, was she will one day be big enough to drive a car. And my dad said, you might even be able to drive a truck. And it blew her mind.
I wish I had those like low standards. I would hope to get a license.
Yeah.
Good for her. She's gonna nail it.
Oh, she was like, I just want to be able to drive a car. And immediately I was like, yeah, it's the biggest killer on the road.
Behind the wheel, you know, you're 10 times likely more to get in a horrific accident. Add alcohol to the mix, it's 100 times. So yeah, you stay away from the bottle, stay away from the cars.
Yeah.
Thank you and good night.
That's exactly what I said. Oscar, have you got a palate cleanser this week?
Carl, I watched a new Netflix reality TV show, and it's the worst premise I've ever seen. It's called Drink Masters.
Oh my god.
Have you seen
Is this a new Bake Squad?
Yeah,
Have
pretty
you
much.
watched all of it?
I've watched 4 episodes.
Alright,
Essentially,
I've watched 1.
Oh my god. Here's the premise. It's pretty much just MasterChef. They gotta make a cocktail. They give them 90 minutes. They give them 90 minutes to make a thing that famously takes 2.
Could you imagine if I gave you 90 minutes to make a cocktail? Do you know what you'd come back with? A beer.
Yeah. Wait, how long we got? Do you want to start drinking right now? You can. We will unedit this. I'll make you a cocktail.
Go on.
Okay. So.
Can we take the mic with it? Hang on. Let me. Where's memo? All right, we're gonna switch to.
We're gonna switch to audio.
We're gonna switch to the phone audio, and you're gonna try and make me a cocktail. And how long do you reckon you can make it in?
I reckon genuinely under 2 minutes.
And.
All right, let's go.
Okay, go. Run. Oh, he's out the door. He's out. He's in the hallway.
All right, Carl. How are we going?
Good. This has been 14 seconds.
Okay. Fuck.
He's opened I'm in the way. He's gone to the alcohol cabinet.
I've grabbed some whiskey.
He's got whiskey.
Some whiskey.
What brand? What brand?
It is Bullet 95 Rye. I've got some lemon juice. I've also got some sugar syrup.
Go.
I've also got a nice glass.
Oh, that is a nice glass.
Thank you. It's a visual medium, so you can laugh.
The glass is like crystal. It's a nice high. Are they new glasses? I haven't seen them. You never give me those glasses when we drink.
Well, it's because I'm doing it for the podcast. I show off.
We've got money now. He's washing a cocktail shaker and his hands for hygiene.
Yeah.
You're at a minute. Have you got ice? Because I will not drink a warm cocktail.
Oh, of course not. Now, as we've got some time here, I will tell you. Now, the show, pretty much, they've got to make a cocktail. That's fine. They're given 90 minutes. My main gripe is that they have been told you have to make a margarita. It has to be different enough that it isn't a margarita, but still a margarita, which is such a slim... Like, when you've got, like, 4 ingredients, constantly their criticism is like, this is too much like a margarita, or this is not a margarita.
He's pouring. How much are you putting in? You're at 1:50. Oh, he's free pouring with the lemon juice. He's got the sugar syrup. He's put that into with the ice. It's like an Olympics. I can understand why this show's a hit.
Yeah.
But I feel like this show would be better if it was only like 2 minutes to make a cocktail. The last challenge should be to make a really quick cocktail. It's delicious, right?
Yeah.
He's got the strainer. It's icy. Damn. Alright. Let me go for the sip.
Go for the sip, Carl.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh, hells yeah. Alright, back to the podcast.
Was that a whiskey sour?
That is a whiskey sour. And we're back. That's my thing. My criticism is that it's 90 minutes. They've got to make all their ingredients. That's kind of the fun thing. Oh, thank you.
It, yeah.
That's very nice.
Do you want a bit?
Yeah, go on, have a little sip.
Ugh.
Yeah, what do you think of the show?
Didn't enjoy it. I thought it was nicely lit, and I like the set.
The set's huge. The set's so big. The roof. They're like, what if it was 900 meters tall? What if the cocktail barrier just could not leave? Also, the host is called Tony Bell.
Yeah.
Fun name. He's got 2 E's at the end. I've never seen that spelt.
2 E's at the end.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Or Bell with 2 E's.
Well, no. Yeah. Beal?
No, just at the end. The double E is silent. It's pronounced Bell.
Belly.
Yeah,
the show's unhinged. Loving it.
Have you learned any good cocktails that you want to make from it? Or are they
really,
too extreme?
Not really. That's kind of my thing. Because, like, the biggest withdrawal is that, like, you kind of look at a cocktail and it's all visual. Because constantly, like, that's a good cocktail. They haven't really got any descriptive words to really get you in the mood.
Yeah.
Also, all the cocktail, it's just decoration, essentially. Constantly, like, I made a margarita and I made a gingerbread house next to it. They're like, that looks very Christmassy. It's like, but it's not a cocktail. I just don't get it. And their glassware is beautiful, but it's like, it seems like whoever grabs the nicest glass wins. And yeah, all the cocktails constantly have like 4 ingredients. And I'm kind of like, but like, how are you differentiating this?
Yeah. That's why I think if you actually had the challenge that was in it of make this cocktail in 3 minutes using these 5 common ingredients would be the best thing, because then you would want to make that cocktail, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole appeal with MasterChef, is in that first season, because they weren't incredible chefs. They were just better than the average chef.
Yeah.
It was like, it encouraged so many people to just cook at home.
100%.
And they would go online, they'd use the recipes that they put up from the episode of what like the best ones were. Like,
And I don't be encouraged to drink at home. That's my biggest issue.
I know. Like, honestly, if I had made that show, the opening of the show would also have a cocktail for you to enjoy the episode with.
Oh, it pairs well with it.
Yeah.
3 bowls of wine. Cheap.
It should be the host walking in being like, tonight's episode's going to pair well with a blah, 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 and a blah, blah, blah. May the competition begin. Cheers. And then it should just go into the title.
And then Tony Bell smacks a big bell.
V, what are we reviewing next week?
Next week, Carl, we're jumping into Jingle All the Way. I didn't think of a thing to say. I just said the movie.
A Schwarzenegger classic.
Oh, you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. Thank you for listening.
Au revoir. Oh, again. We really should only be drinking when we do the podcast.
I'll be honest, I brought up the cocktail thing so I could brag that I can make a great cocktail.
You made a great cocktail very quickly.
Yeah.
And now, it's disappointing because it's not like I can enjoy this with the podcast now.
Yeah. Oh, we can make more. Check out Jingle All the Way where we're fucking smashed.